Hey guys, it's Games with Dusky Monster here, and I'm bringing you some Killzone gameplay and some gamer gossip talk stuff. So, up here with our first news, we have Bill Gates, Microsoft's newly appointed technical advisor, has reignited the perennial debate about whether Microsoft should sell off its Xbox and Bing businesses. I'm pretty sure this is because the PS4 has outsold the Xbox One like 2 to 1, and even more because the PS4 has released 2 weeks earlier than the Xbox One in the US alone. And I don't think it's released in Asia yet. The Xbox One hasn't released in Asia, where the PS4 has been released ever since the US date, I think, or a few days after the US date, which is pretty cool because it means that the people who worked for the Sony guys, they have more time to they had less time to develop their console as the Xbox One, but they still are outselling the Xbox One by so much. And I'm a Sony fanboy, so you guys can just guess that I'm like super excited. And now that we also know that Call of Duty is now trying to sign with PS4 and PS3, which I think is really cool because I think for once the PS and PlayStation Nation should finally get the DLC for Call of Duty earlier than the Xbox One, because there are more players on the in the PSN also, I think so. Yeah. Then our next story is Apple bought Beats by Dr. Dre for $3.2 billion, and it has been confirmed by the 9th of May. And so it says the company co-founded by Dr. Dre in 2008 that in just 6 short years has sewn up the entire high-end consumer headphones market. I think this is a huge step for Apple because I don't like the Apple earphones, and my Beats are just getting fixed right now. I think this is a big step for Apple because if they just acquired this, then it would definitely mean that they would be earning more money every year, or just getting more income every year and profiting more, so that they can develop their iPhones and stuff, which I think is pretty cool. And then our next story is, one second guys, yes, Nintendo is making a new cheap console especially for emerging markets like the next gen consoles, I think, which will be pretty cool. So it's saying, in a rather surprising move, Nintendo has announced that it plans to introduce a brand new game console as early as next year. The catch? The new console will be specifically targeted at emerging markets such as China and India, and lower-income gamers, where the rapidly growing middle class in these countries, especially in China. With lots of money to spend on entertainment, this is a very savvy move for Nintendo. It remains to be seen how much this move will impact the company's Western gaming efforts and the losing battle against the Xbox One and the PS4. I think that Nintendo should start making more and more consoles because I think their best-selling console till now has been the Wii, the first one, and even I like that more than the Wii U because the Wii U is basically just like a console, and you can just get the PS4 or the Xbox One or the PS3 or Xbox 360 and get the same games on it, and the game's graphics will also be higher, easier to play, and it'll just be basically like just cool, yeah. And then so next we have one second guys, just need to open up some more stuff. Nintendo reports massive annual loss on the back of anemic Wii U and 3DS sales. Nintendo, with both lower than expected sales of both the Wii U and 3DS, has been reported an annual loss of $229 million, 23.2 billion yen. This is down from the last year's WEA profits of around $69 million, 7.1 billion yen. The company says it is establishing a new health division in an attempt to bolster its customer numbers and revenues. Meanwhile, analysts and pundits are vehement that Nintendo needs to fully embrace mobile gaming. And then next in this gaming news thing, we have news that FaZe Ferox, the person who created the actual FaZe logo, which I'll show on the screen right now, has just been kicked from FaZe after creating the logo which basically every single gamer right now knows. And so I think that FaZe has been unloyal to Ferox because Ferox has done so much for them and he was doing it for free, as he explained in his video, which he uploaded. I'll put the link in the description below. And I just think that it's just like, how can you do this to a person who has worked for free for you for a clan, and he hasn't even gotten paid for it, and then you just kick him? He's made your logo, he's made your trademark symbol, and then you just kick him out. What is that? If anything, it is certainly dishonest or disloyal. Then next, Crysis 3 hacked to run at 8K gives us a beautiful glimpse of gaming in the future. I don't know. I think that the PS5, if they ever make one of those, might just run in 8K, which I really hope so, because then that will just like boost up Sony's whole gaming experience part, like by like $3 billion at least. So yeah, and you know how your computer struggles to run Crysis 3 at 1920 x 1080 at very high detail? And you know how beautiful it looks, even at that humdrum resolution? Well, now an enthusiast called K-Put has used a hacked Crysis 3 executable to run the game at 8K. And I'm not being hyperbolic when I say that the resultant screenshots are probably the most beautiful examples of real-time computer-generated graphics that I've ever seen. Crysis 3 at 8K looks so good that you could be mistaken for thinking that these screenshots are hand-drawn concept art. But in fact, they're straight out of the engine. Don't get your hopes up for 8K gaming anytime soon. Though, K-Put has a pretty beefy gaming rig, and yet it could only muster 2 FPS when running at 8K resolution. Well, I think if they're making a PS5 or an Xbox 720 or 1080 or whatever, it will have to be bigger to run anything at even 4K. Because 4K also is like a lot. It's like 1440p. And it's just like extremely clear and detailed, and you would have to run consoles have to run stuff at a high FPS, and so do computers, which is good because they have to build it in a way so that it doesn't lag too much, and some consoles are made for just special games, so that's also pretty cool. So next we have ZeniMax threatens to sue Oculus VR for IP theft. Is Carmack a liability? Now that Oculus has Mark Zuckerberg as a sugar daddy, if you guys don't know, Mark Zuckerberg is the creator of Facebook, it seems that ZeniMax wants in on some of that sweet Facebook cash. John Carmack's former employer is claiming that Oculus VR is unfairly using its intellectual property, and it's threatening to take action. John Carmack and the Oculus team quickly and publicly rebutted ZeniMax's claims, but the legal situation is bound to get even stickier from here. I think that if they're talking about the Oculus Rift there, I think that that I think that ZeniMax is just jealous. No offense to anyone at ZeniMax, but I think they're just jealous that you can use the Oculus VR on Facebook, or maybe you will be able to. So next in the news, it's Microsoft's backward policies are hurting the Xbox One. Since the Xbox One was released last May, Microsoft has made some major course corrections. The draconian always online requirements were scrapped, and the execution of used game dealers was stayed. But a number of serious issues still plague the Xbox One. Worst of them all, Microsoft is demanding launch parity for indie ID at Xbox titles. Because of this short-sighted policy, many notable indie developers are steering clear of the Xbox One completely. Then we have new news that the HDCPI or HDCP for the PS4 has been lifted, and so that means that you can record your gameplay. So you can basically record your gameplay with an Elgato now, but it will you won't be able to while you're watching a movie or any Blu-ray stuff. And so and it says here PS4 HDCP toggle must be off to record games or on to watch video apps. PlayStation 4's most recent software update includes an all or nothing toggle for high bandwidth digital content protection HDCP that enables or disables the feature for all apps on Sony's newest console and prevents some apps from being used when it's off. I think that it's good that they finally lifted it because I think that most gamers out there don't want to have their games in high quality, and they can do that with a game capture card like an Elgato or like any other thing. But yeah, or Roxio game capture card, stuff like that. But I think that it's good because most gamers would like to have content on their channel which which is completely and totally HD, and will actually help make their channel grow, because HD helps channels grow. That's why I'm recording from my PS4, because I don't have an Elgato card yet. Me. So yeah, so guys, that was the news for today. I will see you guys later, and my iMovie crashed before, so yeah. See you guys later. Hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to me. Remember, Face Ferox's video is in the description below. And thanks for watching. See you guys later. See ya. Only thing that's on my mind is who's gonna run this town.